21 years old. I'm a student at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. And my friends were on spring break. At the time, it was only a level 2 travel warning. The US government basically had not put any of the warnings out that they have now just in the last few days. And at the time of travel, there wasn't much of a warning, really. And this all kind of blindsided us over the last few days.
What is the amount of people that are stuck in Peru right now, and at least the ones that you have got in touch with?
More than 2,000.
Oh, wow.
I think it's around 1,000 in Cusco and a little over 1,000 in Lima, and then a few hundred in like the smaller cities as well, like Iquitos, Arequipa, places like that. So they've been evacuating people from Lima first, and then I think Cusco is probably next. But I am more concerned for the people in the smaller cities, especially like Iquitos, because you can only get there by plane and all the airports are shut down. So we're not entirely sure what's going to happen to them. And we just hope that they're not forgotten.
What else are you guys doing to be able to come back home?
I mean, there's only so much we can do. At a certain point, it's up to the U.S. government to really get their stuff together and try to get us out of here. It seems like they've been dragging their feet, which is really disappointing, being a U.S. citizen. We've been doing everything we can. We're working day and night from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed, contacting people, trying to, combat the spread of misinformation, to provide people actual updates on what's going on. And Secretary Pompeo was out there posting pictures of him, like, playing with his kids and, like, going to the park while we're here stuck, basically trying to do the government's work for them.
Do you know if there are any cases of Americans infected with a COVID-19 at this point?
Not that I know of. I know in Lima there are cases, I think in the same apartment complexes as some people who are staying there, like in an Airbnb. Like in some of the messaging groups we've been in, people are saying like so-and-so person just passed away from the disease, like pretty close to where they're staying. But I think there are fewer cases here in Cusco.
Are there any Americans with any type of health issues besides the coronavirus that everybody knows is an outbreak in Peru right now, even is hitting here strongly each day in the United States? But is there any Americans having any health issues like diabetes or any type of difficulties?
Yeah, too many to count. I mean, I could count them. They're on the spreadsheet, but there are people who are running out of their diabetes medicine. There are people with like babies aged 4 or 5 who aren't getting like the proper nutrition that they need because you can only get pantry essentials. There are people who are like 90 years old who are stuck.
And how are you guys covering the expenses? Is the Peruvian government helping out, or is out of your own pocket that you guys are trying to survive?
It's all out of pocket right now. We're students, so we're digging into our savings to pay for the Airbnb, pay for food, which is not ideal, but it's better than not having a place to live.
I know that this all started a week ago, but can you tell us a little bit more about your experience and a way that we, the people in the States, can help you out?
So things are going okay for us here in our group. You're in an Airbnb here in Cusco, and our Airbnb host has allowed us to extend the stay, so we don't have any problems with housing. In terms of food, like we're able to get food from the supermarkets nearby, so that's not a problem. But I think there are like more vulnerable cases in Cusco as well, people with health problems, things like that. My friends and I are fine, but for the people with health problems who aren't sure when they're going to get out, it's a much more stressful situation.
Have you guys tried to partner with any local leaders in the states, senator representatives, to reach out to the president to organize or coordinate a way to bring you back to the States?
We've been in contact with a lot of senators in the U.S., a lot of representatives, a lot of people at the State Department, and they're actively working on the issue. For a while, there was like a really big lack of communication, like essentially zero update from the embassy. The embassy literally shut their doors, wasn't responding to any of us. But now they're getting a little better with communication. in terms of partnering with the local Peruvians, it seems like the president is trying to focus on helping the Peruvian citizens first, which obviously makes sense. That's his job. So we haven't really had success with working with the Peruvian government. Thousands and thousands of times. Thousands of us have tried to contact the embassy. They've been of little use so far, but I think things are starting to improve. They're sending more daily updates that we weren't receiving before. But in terms of getting direct contact with someone from the embassy, it's practically impossible.
How is your family doing? Have you been able to get in touch with them? Are they worried about your situation right now?
Yeah, I've had a few calls with them. I've reassured them that health-wise things are okay. We have food, we have water. We have everything we need to survive, so that's not a problem. Obviously, they prefer that I was at home right now, but they're reassured. I reassured them that things are okay. We're trying to keep our spirits up and view it as an adventure as much as possible.
And what will be your message to the President of the United States at this moment?
Man, that's a good question. Don't forget about the people who are in the outer regions. I know work has started on getting people out of Lima, but there are so many people who are really, really scared, especially in places where they don't have contact with the bigger cities. So don't forget about them. Make sure to get. Thank you. Really appreciate that. The more media attention we get, the better. That seemed to be one of the best things so far in terms of getting people to actually know about our situation and to act on it. So thank you for what you're doing.
You're welcome.